Fairly favorable schedule next year for Washington, it seems like.
It looks like the type of schedule that you can win quite a few ball games and then hopefully go to a ball game, and that's the position we need to be in right now at the university.
If there's one area, and I know that you fellas like to go after the best athlete, but if there's one area that has been bolstered on the Washington team, seemingly with the recruits that you have, what area would that be?
Well, I think we worked a lot with the offensive personnel, even though, that wasn't what we were trying to do. Again, we go back to the same thing that a lot of people seem to do, that they like to go to get the best athlete available. But I think we really tried to work on our tight end problems and then also our punting problems. So I hopefully that'll take care of that.
Well, the best of luck to the Washington Huskies this year. It could be a very competitive race for the Rose Bowl.
Well, let's hope so, Steve.
Thank you very much, Dick. Dick Cesniak, the offensive coordinator of the University of Washington. Statistics here for the ball game in which Washington leads 41-34. Greenwood with 8, Bandaway with 8, as Holland with 8, and 2 each for Sims, Hamilton, and Wilkes. Allums has 4. For Washington, Goodmanson with 11 points, 5 of 11 from the field, 10 for Woods, 8 for Walker, and 4 each for Frank, Romar, and Vaughn. Washington shooting 50% from the field, 19 of 38. UCLA 42%, 15 of 35. Once the starting lineups are the same, except Allums will be in for Sims.
Okay, set to go here in the second half. Dave Niehaus and Steve Fimmel with you, and we'll be right back at you at 10 o'clock on Saturday night. Saturday night here on Channel 9. Set to go. Peter Goodmanson will jump it against David Greenwood. Ball in the air, the tip controlled by UCLA. An offense to our left at this particular time, beginning the second half. Holland puts a move on Matson, and Matson fouls him as Holland went around it. So that'll be the first team foul against the Huskies, as we have played only 5 seconds here in the second half. 41-34 Washington. What a surprise in the first half. Washington's biggest lead, 13 points at one juncture, 23-10.
Washington will go into a zone more than likely here.
Bandaway all the way back out to Holland. Hamilton, top of the circle. Holland one more time to Kiki. Holland fakes going up, gives it to Bandaway. Near side, Hamilton, bad pass, stolen away by Matson. Here come the Huskies, 2-on-2, 3-on-2. Matson stops at the free throw line, near side to Woods. Woods will not go up in the air, and that's good. That's shows some patience, and that's exactly what the Huskies have to do, is slow it down and now make the game their tempo.
They didn't have the numbers that last time down. It was a good play to pull up and run the offense. And there's your isolation with Goodmanson. Although look where Hamilton is. They're giving Matson the outside shot, the perimeter.
Matson, top of the circle, over on the far side. Back to Matson. Loop it to Goodmanson. Goodmanson's against Allums. He'll put a 10-footer up, and Allums gets him on the wrist. So Allums with a foul, and Goodmanson will go to the free throw line for a pair. Goodmanson in the first half, 11 points. David Greenwood had 10 rebounds in that first half for UCLA. Goodmanson had only 2. Roy Hamilton turned over the ball 4 times for the Bruins in that first half. But Lorenzo Romar had 6 assists. Great passing for the Huskies. Goodmanson with one more. It is in. So 1 out of 2 gives the Huskies an 8-point lead at 42-34 as we begin the second half. Holland, the senior guard, really getting his first full year as a starter as a senior. Looping it into Greenwood against Woods. High hook shot will go down. Do they give it to Allums, or will it go to Greenwood? I'm not sure. Allums was up on the rim. That was almost offensive goaltender. They give it to Greenwood. Pass batted out of bounds by Hamilton. And the Huskies will bring it up one more time, or try to bring it up. Let's put it that way. Walker slaps the ball once and gets it into Matson. Matson away from Hamilton. Holland is on the trail. He's on the scent. Matson gives it back out to Vaughn. Walker to Matson. They're going to give Matson that shot, but he won't take it. Goodmanson is fronted, and there's a man in the back end, and there's Walker's shot.
But you see him playing off, Walker playing off Goodmanson there. He's on the same side, so Vandaway has to stay halfway. He's got to watch the pass to Goodmanson, but also he's giving Walker some breathing room out there to take the jumper.
44-36. Allums with the basketball for the Blue Flag Bruins. Holland bumps into Matson, no harm, no foul. He turns around, will try to put the shot down. Woods will bring it off the rebound. Vaughn tries to dribble around Hamilton. Don finally gets it across the timeline. Kept his body nicely between himself and the ball.
Great defense down at the other end by Matson. He made Holland shoot off the dribble.
There's Goodmanson. Good! Peter Goodmanson with about a 10-footer from the left side with the right hand. 46-36, all of a sudden a 10-point lead for the Huskies. They led it by 7 at the half. Hamilton, move it to Greenwood. 3 men all around him. Hamilton back with a 10-footer. No, won't go down. UCLA ice cold as they were at the beginning of the ball game.
Well, they got the right man to shoot the ball there, Hamilton. He shoots the ball way over by his left ear, and as Denny Houston says, your eyes aren't over there on your shoulder.
Stan Walker, loop it to Goodmanson. Back to Matson. Yes! Steve Matson, and all of a sudden it's a 12-point advantage, and Gary Cunningham crawling off the bench, clapping his hands together, no timeout as yet. Allums with the basketball.
That could have been a very important basket, and I'll say why in a minute here.
To the near side, Greenwood with it. Allums, 14-footer, yes sir.
That shot by Matson from the base is going to make that guard who's sagging in on Goodmanson play even more honest now. If Matson's going to hit that, then they got to play Matson. It's going to open things up for Goodmanson, perhaps.
Donnie Vaughn against Roy Hamilton. Hamilton all over him. Good defender is Hamilton. Walker with it for the Huskies. Goodmanson over in a corner to Matson. Back to Goodmanson. Over Allums. Back shot good.
That's exactly what happened. Holland had to go out and cover Matson because Matson had that shot the last time. Goodmanson was isolated one-on-one. Great play.
Bad pass. It's picked up by Goodmanson. And Matson receives the ball from Goodmanson. And the fans are going, boy, this is great to see here at Heck Edmondson Pavilion. Some great enthusiasm tonight as the top-ranked UCLA Bruins are down by 12 to the Huskies. Pass batted away by Vanderway away from Stan Walker. And the student body en masse up on their feet in this thriller. Hope you'll come on out Saturday night as the Trojans are here. And we'll have it for you right here on Channel 9 beginning at 10 o'clock. Bad pass. Hamilton, great, quick hands, and he gets the easy deuce.
Now, he was waiting for that.
Quick hands that time by Holland, reaching around on Matson, and they almost got another one. James Wilkes up off the bench. He's going to come into the ballgame. 10-point lead for Washington, 50-40. Walker with it. Matson taking steps. Yes, sir.
Well, Washington, we talk about controlling the tempo, but they've got to run the offense. You don't want a guy holding on to the ball. Now, we don't mean that by changing the tempo, we're going to see him just slow it way down and go into a stall. Washington's not that kind of team, but they want to run the offense, and that means crisp passing.
Greenwood all by himself for a 10-footer. You can't give him that shot.
I think Washington needs to time out here to figure things out.
Goodmanson was way away that time from Greenwood. Greenwood will hit that shot 8 times out of 10 from there, if not 9 out of 10. Huskies trying to run their offense one more time. Walker with it. Goodmanson with a hand up, but doesn't get the pass. That's Woods. Woods doesn't go up, instead goes over to Vaughn. Back on top of the circle. Matson. One more time. Vaughn. Woods.
Notice who's playing Goodmanson again, though, Dave.
Yes, sir, David Greenwood. Goodmanson gets a pass, and it won't go down. Matson tries to pick it up, and he bangs into Roy Hamilton. No, it's not Hamilton on the floor. It is Greenwood. It's Greenwood on the floor. Greenwood is guilty of the foul, and Greenwood down reaching his head. Matson helps him up. Lorenzo Romar into the ball game. He will replace Steve Matson. Second team foul on the Bruins. And I believe the first team foul on Greenwood.
Romar now in the lineup for
Romar in. Goodmanson, long lob pass, a dangerous pass. Back to Walker. Let the Huskies get it.
Good. Greenwood is fronting, or now he's playing the side, but he was fronting Goodmanson.
Walker way out. That's a bad shot, even for Walker. Way out that far. Rebound, Greenwood flips it back. Walker gets the pass, stolen from him by Wilkes, and Walker caught for the foul. Trying to get it back from James Wilkes. That's too far out for Stan Walker. He was 28 to 30 feet out.
If they run the offense, they'll get the shots. That's what they have to do, is run the offense, not hold on to it.
Brad Holland with it against Lorenzo Romar. Holland bounce pass. What a great pass that time by Holland underneath to James Wilkes. Great assist that time by Brad Holland. And all of a sudden, it's a 50-44 ball game. It was 48-36 a moment ago. Donnie Vaughn Hamilton, you got to watch him. He's like a cat.
Yeah. A couple of quick guards going at each other there.
Walker with it. Lorenzo Romar, James Woods to Goodmanson, batted away by two Bruins, by Greenwood, and by Vandeweghe. Washington to get it out of bounds. Walker to Romar. Goodmanson fronted, and he has a guy behind him. You've got to hang on to the basketball. The turnover, wasn't really a bad pass. It was right to Woods.
Washington really may need a timeout just for the fact that they're having trouble with the adjustment defensively that UCLA's made and putting Greenwood on Goodmanson.
Holland with the basketball for the Bruins. Under 14 minutes to go, a 6-point lead for Washington. They have led from the beginning. Shot by Vandeweghe. Yes, sir. 50-46. Look at that. Walker almost fumbled the ball out of bounds. They just don't seem to be concentrating, having their minds on the job at the present time. And they're beginning to look a little disheveled the way they're passing around the basketball. Walker looking to Goodmanson. He's triple teamed to Woods. Woods almost traveled. Give it to Walker. He'll try a 10-footer. Yes. About an 8-footer.
Stand Walker.
52-46. Brad Holland puts a move on his man, and up with a shot is Greenwood, and a foul on Goodmanson. Looked like almost pretty good block to me.
But I still have a hard time figuring out the rule on that. If Goodmanson's just standing there and putting his arms up in the air and the man comes into him, why do they call a foul on the defensive man? I mean, it seems to happen a lot in college basketball today. The nod goes to the offensive player.
Greenwood with a pair.
We'll see this again. Now let's see if Goodmanson may have been coming forward on Greenwood. We'll see. Just seemed to have his hands in the air, just waiting for him to come.
Greenwood, a great free thrower. He's an 80%er. And he'll add to that with 2 down this time. So it's a 4-point lead. That's as close as UCLA has been since the beginning of the ball game. 7-point lead at the half. Vaughn with it to Walker. Looking under to Goodmanson. Walker, loop it to Goodmanson. Goodmanson way back out top to Romar. Romar at the free throw line. Almost a bad pass by Vaughn, but Woods saves it. All the way over to Goodmanson. He saves it from going out of bounds, and Goodmanson, the push, called on Vandeweghe.
They had him, that time they got Peter the ball on the weak side when he was on the weak side.
First personal foul on Kiki Vandeweghe.
Ball out of bounds to the Huskies. Goodmanson will do the honors. Romar with it as the Huskies try to set up their offense. Walker, Romar, Woods. Goodmanson just standing to the right of the lane. Vandeweghe is on him one more time. Walker holding it with 12.5 minutes to go in the game. A 4-point lead for the Huskies. Loop it to Goodmanson. He tries to take it to the hoop. Bounce it underneath to Woods. What a great assist that time. And good quick hand by Woods. Boy, that ball was blistered in there. That time by Goodmanson. 54-48. Right back is Greenwood with the deuce to get the Bruins again within 4 at 54-50.
They're starting to warm up a little bit, though, now from the field.
Donnie Vaughn with it. Greenwood with 16 points in the ball game. Woods, whistle. Underneath the foul. Foul is on Vandeweghe, and he said, "What in the world did I do?" And Frank Buckowitz said, "Young man, you were holding," and that'll be the second foul on Kiki Vandeweghe. The 14th foul against the Bruins. And with 11 minutes and 55 seconds to go, Gary Cunningham wants a timeout. 11:55 to go in the game. It's been a beauty. Hope you've enjoyed it. It's Washington 54 and the Bruins of UCLA 50.
Well, this week on the Austin City Limits, it's Taj Mahal and Del Santo. Play the blues and some down-home country music with a little bit of jazz thrown in. Watch them tomorrow night at 11 p.m. here on KCTS 9. And every weekday starting at 6:30 p.m., let Dick Cavett entertain you. Followed at 7 p.m. by the McNeil-Lair Report. Television, that's daily in-depth news report with McNeil-Lair, and that begins with Cavett at 6:30, McNeil-Lair at 7, here weekdays on KCTS 9.
We haven't received a final from Pullman. Of course, it's a tape delay broadcast, but at halftime, it sounded like kind of a slow-down game over there. Washington State was leading SC 24-21. And if, of course, SC should lose tonight and UCLA should win, UCLA would clinch at least a tie. They would have a 3-game lead with 3 games to go. UCLA is going to win the conference no matter what happens tonight. They have the 2 Northern California schools to play at Pauley Pavilion to close it out next week, Stanford and Cal.
Washington State still not out of a postseason bid, though, yet, so that's a big game for them.
You're darn right it is. Romar to pass it in. He gets it into Walker. Back out to Vaughn. Back to Lorenzo Romar. So they quickly pass it around crisply, too, and that's good to see. Walker, bad pass that time. That wasn't so crisp as Vaughn tried to take both hands and get around to his defender and scoop it to Goodmanson, and Goodmanson was handcuffed. So a turnover, 54-50. David Greenwood with it for the Bruins. To Hamilton. Vandaway, good shot from there, but he doesn't get it this time. Flat-footed Stan Walker has the rebound. The Huskies going to have to move off the feet. That ball just happened to come to Walker. Lorenzo Romar for Washington.
UCLA really has tightened up their defense a lot better this half.
James Woods with it as Walker moves to the right corner and gets the pass. Huskies slowing the tempo down. This is what they must do. And they've done it well on occasion tonight. Goodmanson has a ball slapped by Greenwood out of bounds. That probably saved it 2. Looked like it was going to go in off the glass.
Goodmanson, though, not intimidated against who he's playing with.
Right down the middle, Vaughn leaves it back for Goodmanson off the glass. No, it won't go. Rebound Vandaway. Quickly give it up to Hamilton. Hamilton, the man in the middle. To Greenwood. He tries to get the pass underneath the Wilkes. Does. Lay it off the glass. No. Tip. Yes. Vandaway. 54-52. A 2-point lead for Washington. Woods with the basketball. It behooves the Huskies to hang on to it, set up their offense. Walker stops, gives it back to Vaughn. To Walker, who wasn't expecting the pass at all, to Goodmanson, almost a bad pass. Saves it from going out of bounds. They've got to settle down. Cool it off just a little bit. Donnie Vaughn with it. We approach the 10-minute mark to play in the ball game. The Huskies have never trailed in this game. They lead it by 2 now. Woods way back out top. Near side. Vaughn fakes going up to Goodmanson. Woods, about a 16-footer, won't go. Short. Tip out. Finally saved by Woods. Woods trying to go right to the glass. Leaves it for Vaughn, a 10-footer. Yeah!
The basket by John Vaughn.
56-52, a 4-point lead for Washington. Here in this half, the lead is as much as 12 at 48-36. First half as much as 13 at 23-10. Greenwood almost double dribble with the ball carried it, but they don't call it, and it goes in off the glass. Almost looked like a quarterback on a bootleg that time as he moved across the mouth of the key. 56-54. Lorenzo Romar will see the signal from Marv Harshman as Andre Griffin comes into the ballgame to call a timeout. But that time, as David Greenwood moved across the mouth of the key, looked like he laid it right on his hip. But they didn't get the call from the official, and Greenwood gets a pair of points. So with 9 minutes, 29 seconds to go, we've got a beauty. It's 56 for the Huskies, 54 for the Bruins.
Washington has played a good ball game tonight, of course, against the #1 team with a 2-point lead and playing 30 minutes plus of good basketball. It's going to come down to the last 9.5 minutes to see if Washington can still maintain control of the tempo of the game, which they have been able to do for most of the night when they've got into the running game. At times they've been able to beat UCLA in the transition game, but basically UCLA has gotten back into this game by running. And they've also tightened the defense an awful lot, and it's bogged the Husky defense or the Husky offense down. Washington is concentrating an awful lot on Goodmanson, getting the ball to the post to Goodmanson, and they got Greenwood on him now, and it's causing some problems as the other players are starting to stand around now.
Friends, tomorrow at 8:30 on Wall Street Week, the topic is aerospace, the #1 group. So join host Louis Ruckeiser on Wall Street Week at 8:30 p.m. tomorrow, right here on Channel 9. Washington hitting on 26 out of 50 from the field. That figures out to be a 5-20 percentage. And UCLA has picked up their tempo. They are 50% shooter from the field now. 24 out of 48. Washington with a 2-point lead at 56-54. Griffin with the basketball. Top of the circle, Lorenzo Romar. Romar looking for help. Griffin with it. Some Bruin fans to our left coming up from Los Angeles. You might hear them yelling, "Take it away," from the Huskies.
Washington has made a substitution as Goodmanson's out now, and they've got Andre Griffin back into the lineup, and they're running their 2-3 offense.
Loop pass, bad pass, almost saved by Griffin, just barely before he goes out over on the far sideline. With 8:48 to go. The Huskies trying to hang on to the lead. Walker bounces it off the toe of James Wilkes out of bounds. Romar to get it into Walker. Lorenzo Romar stops top of the circle. Hamilton looking for the passing lane that time. If he was going to go to the left, Hamilton was gone with the basketball. Romar with it to Griffin. Back out the top, near side. It comes to Romar. And Vaughn just passing it around that three-pointed triangle at the present time. Left side, center, and right side. Stopping at the free throw line is Andre Griffin. Griffin, I would imagine that that ankle still not 100%, still sore from when he twisted it in the SC game some 2.5 weeks ago. Vaughn, near side to Griffin. Everything clogged up in the middle. We're under 8 minutes, a 56-54 ball game. The Huskies very patient at the present time, looking for the sure shot, and Wilkes said that the ball went off the Walker's hands, but no way.
Well, Washington may pick up a back door here if they keep running that, and the player takes a challenge like that on the wings. They may go back door.
Gary Cunningham, the Bruin coach, calling for pressure all the way to the baseline, getting it back out as Romar to Woods. Woods almost travels with the ball. It's stolen by UCLA, and a tripping foul call on Woods. As Wilkes tried to quickly spurt out of there, why Woods caught him just on the ankle, and the turnover hurts.
Woods, the
14th foul on the Washington Huskies, and the second one on Woods. And Woody and Wilkes met a shot that we didn't have on our TV set, shaking hands, no harm meant. 56-54. Wilkes with the basketball for the Bruins to Hamilton. Back to Vandeweghe. Vandeweghe to Hamilton. Holland, good shot, has a chance to tie. Will not do it this time around. Woods goes to get the rebound.
That time I think UCLA was a little bit impatient. It was not the best of shots.
Johnny Vaughn with it. Andre Griffin. Holland tries to steal. Romar. Long! 20-footer gets in. A 4-point lead for the Huskies one more time. Hamilton leaves a pass off for Vandeweghe. Vandeweghe leaves it for Holland. Back to Hamilton. Great passing that time by the Bruins, and Hamilton with a cripple underneath. 58-56. 2-point lead.
Take the free throw.
16-footer. Good. Johnny Vaughn. Hamilton against Vaughn. Down the middle. Bangs into Vaughn. Offensive foul on Roy Hamilton.
It's a good call. I think Vaughn established position, and Hamilton went right to it with the hoop. And the basket does not count.
No basket, so it's still a 60-56 ball game, and at least momentarily the Bruins have taken the pressure off as the Huskies will bring it up the length of the floor. Walker to pass it in to Lorenzo Romar. We approach 6.5 minutes to be played in the ball game. A 4-point lead for the Huskies, who have never trailed in this game. They led it 2-0, was tied 2-2, and it's been all Washington. Walker too high off the glass. He was intimidated that time by Greenwood. Fake shot that time, and Vaughn gets it back out for Walker. Vaughn was all tied up. He had nowhere to go, and luckily got it back out. Andre Griffin against David Greenwood. He'll try about a 20-footer. No way, a bad percentage shot, and to compound the crime, he goes in on Kiki Vandeweghe and reaches around the right shoulder, and that will bring Peter Goodmanson back into the ballgame for Andre Griffin. That was just not very smart basketball.
It wasn't his shot, and again, we say the injury. I think it is hampering him. Maybe not so much physically as much as mentally. He just seemed to be having a little bit of trouble getting into the ballgame out there, but he's proven himself in the Pac-10. He is a proven Pac-10 player, Andre Griffin.
60-56, a 4-point lead for Washington. We are now under 6 minutes at 5:59. Holland will be shy. Boy, he is way off his shooting game tonight. Walker just does get it. Devon Romar almost turns. Oh, what a move! Up and in, Romar looked like he was going to pass in midair. Squirm through. 62-56, 6 points for the Husky lead. Underneath Greenwood, there's a ball pinned. Great block. The big guy, Goodmanson, and they ask for goaltending. They don't get it.
And UCLA wants a time here, but boy, what a great block by Goodmanson down at the other end on David Greenwood. David Greenwood goes right to Goodmanson trying to draw the foul, but Goodmanson with good position, and he's not attempting to fly swat the ball.
Okay, 5 minutes and 36 seconds remaining in the ball game. It's 62 for the Huskies, 56 for the Bruins.
Well, if you like this kind of basketball action here at Heck Edmondson Pavilion, or you like to see some more sports here on Channel 9, why don't you drop us a line? KCTS Channel 9 Sports at 4045 Brooklyn Avenue Northeast, Seattle 98105. Again, that's 4045 Brooklyn Avenue Northeast, Seattle 98105.
But I'll tell you something, Stephen. This has been the best effort by the Huskies, I believe, this year against the top-ranked Bruins. They still have a 6-point advantage at 62-56, and no matter what happens from here on out, you have to give it to Washington for hanging in there against UCLA. UCLA knows they're in for a dogfight with 62-56 to score and 5.5 to go. Washington 29 out of 55. Hitting at 52%, UCLA 25 out of 52. UCLA to get the ball out of bounds as Wilkes will take it.
We're at a point in the game now, the Huskies with a 6-point lead, that Washington's not had great success in holding on to leads this year. And the problem has been their shot selection.
Vandeweghe with a left hand leaves it off for Hamilton. He'll try a 10-footer. Yes. 62-58. We approach 5 minutes. Bad pass by Goodmanson, but saved by Vaughn. Oh. Here comes Vaughn. Vaughn is against Hamilton with those very quick reflexes, those quick hands. Romar over to Walker. Walker leave it for Goodmanson. He fakes Greenwood, and Greenwood is guilty of the foul. David Greenwood. Greenwood picks up the personal. The Huskies will get the ball out of bounds. The third on David Greenwood.
That was a super move by Peter, and I don't want to take away from him, but his youth may have just shown up a little bit. A mature player would have gotten Greenwood in the air and then taken a shot.
Gone for the shot. Right. That's exactly right. He quit once the whistle blew. A lot of times you're going to get that just on a continuation play. 62-58. Woods almost handcuffed that time by the pass from Romar. Goodmanson has it. Goodmanson looking for Walker, but gives it back to Woods. Woods around Vandeweghe. Leave it off near side to Walker. Walker back to Romar.
Washington not in a stall game. They actually really don't have a stall offense per se, but they will watch to see what shots they take.
Holland with a quick hand flips it to Woods. Look at it. That shot, though. Left-handed shot and a foul underneath. Bad shot by Woods. The foul is on Goodmanson.
Foul is on Peter Goodmanson. That's the sixth
team foul on Washington. Next time Washington fouls, the Bruins will be in the bonus situation. 4.5 minutes to go. It's been a honey. 62-58.
Washington moving into a zone here.
A 2-3 zone at the present time. Greenwood all the way underneath, muscles up, can't get the shot in. The second tip, no good. The third tip is no good either. It was on the rim. It was on the rim. Offensive basket interference, reaching around that imaginary cone.
Now, when Washington comes down here, they've got to get the good shot, which means maybe a Walker 15-footer. I mean, he can hit from there if he's open. Maybe Vaughn penetrating to the free throw line.
Walker to Vaughn. 2-on-1 to Goodmanson. Bad pass, but Vaughn gets it anyway off the glass. No! And it's brought down by Greenwood and a foul. Well, the Huskies had their chance, Steve.
They sure did. It was a good play. Peter should have taken it to the hoop, though. I mean, he was in that kind of position where he could have easily drawn a foul from Greenwood. But it was unselfish play.
So the 7th team foul, and David Greenwood, an 80% free thrower. He's 2 for 2 tonight from the line, I believe. 2 for 2 from the line tonight. Greenwood has hit on 74 of 92, make it 75 of 93. And it's a 62-59 ball game.
Whichever way this comes out tonight, Washington has played a super basketball game. And deserve a lot of credit since they've only had a couple of days rest.
Both of them good by Greenwood, so it's a 2-point lead. One more time, it's 62-60. Goodmanson gets the inbounds pass from Woods. Vaughn gets that precious basketball and protects it. Lorenzo Romar to Donnie Vaughn. To Stan Walker over on the far side. Walker and Vaughn.
Oh, my. Oh,
Bad
my.
shot. Over in the corner. Bad shot. The Bruins with a chance to tie. They'll do it right here. Holland will go in for the layup. We're tied at 62.
There you are. See,
62 at 62 with 3:40 to go in the game.
That's just terrible shot selection by Washington. And that's what's killed them here in some of these games against Oregon State. That was more or less free throw shooting, but Oregon last week.
Vaughn is back to Romar. Foul on Roy Hamilton that time.
That should send Romar to the line, I think. I think UCLA should be over the limit.
17th foul on the Bruins, the 4th personal foul on Roy Hamilton.
Now we look at free throw shooting percentages as we come down here to the end.
Lorenzo Romar up there with a one-on-one, and Romar
69%.
about a 70% free thrower, 69% to be exact, and gets the first of two. The Bruins 20-3 on the year, 12-2 in the conference. Second is good, and still the Bruins have not enjoyed the lead in this ball game as yet. It is 64-62 in favor of Washington. Holland with it against Romar. Back to Hamilton, over to Vandeweghe. Kiki way up for about a 19-footer off the 6-inch iron, no good. Rebound Wilkes underneath, shot off the glass, no good. Off the iron rather. Goodmanson is fouled by Greenwood underneath. That's 4 on David Greenwood with 3 minutes and 8 seconds remaining to be played.
And one other thing strategically as we come down to the last 3:08 here, and UCLA is going to take a timeout, so this will give us a chance to talk a little bit. Oh, all right, we'll talk when we come back.
All right, 3 minutes and 8 seconds. Don't you run away now. We have got a honey of a basketball game here at Heck Edmondson Pavilion tonight. 3 minutes, 8 seconds to go. Washington 64, UCLA 62.
What's keeping you, hon?
I'll be ready before you.
Did you read the review in today's paper?
Every word. Said the show was fabulous.
Can't wait.
So don't keep me waiting.
Starting Saturday, March 3rd, it will be more fun to stay at home than go out.
Presenting Public Television Festival 79.
Well, you think the gang isn't having fun here at Heck Ed tonight? You're wrong, my friends, and hope you'll come out and enjoy some collegiate basketball on Saturday night, as USC will be here against the Washington Huskies, who have played a superb ball game tonight against top-ranked UCLA. They have never been headed. They have a 64-62 lead with 3 minutes and 8 seconds remaining in the game.
Now, if Washington can get a 2 or 3 point lead here down to the last 3 minutes, strategically, UCLA is going to have to pressure the guards. Now, Washington was bogged down because they sagged a little bit and challenged the guards, and Washington wasn't able to get the ball into Goodmanson because they were sagging so much. But if Washington gets a lead, the Huskies will try to spread it. They'll try to isolate Goodmanson low, one-on-one, and that could lead to some good shots.
Goodmanson's free throw good. Again, a 3-point lead at 65-62. And the second will not go down. So it's still a 3-point lead. We approach the 3-minute mark. 17 points for Goodmanson. We are under 3 minutes now. Holland with it to Hamilton. Vandeweghe. Hamilton. Vandeweghe. Just push passing it back and forth off the chest. Looking underneath for the big guy. Holland will try a 21-footer. Short. Up. Tip with Vandeweghe. No good. Rebound. Finally Greenwood. No! To tie it up. Finally, the whistle is called over by Frank Buckowitz. And Donnie Vaughn will jump it against Kiki Vandeweghe.
I think there was a little bit of muscle underneath the board that time.
Well, it's going to be Hamilton against Vaughn. Hamilton will go against Vaughn. 2:42 to go. Tip. Wilkes to Greenwood. He stumbles out of bounds, or is he pushed out of bounds? They say that Goodmanson is guilty of the foul. I'll say one thing. Goodmanson saved a sure 2 points that time. And that is 4 on Peter Goodmanson.
His 4th.
So the man at the free throw line, David Greenwood, playing with 4, and Goodmanson playing with 4.
David Greenwood at the line.
The line, David, is 4 of 4 tonight.
Greenwood's free throw, no good. Rebound Wood. 2.5 minutes to go. A 3-point lead by the Huskies. This would be the upset of the year if they can pull it off. 2.5 to go. Woods with it. Woods dribbling right across the top of the key. The big guy with a bounce pass to Vaughn, and Holland almost steals it. Vaughn near side to Walker. We approach 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Walker double team, leaves it for Vaughn. Now the Bruins will apply pressure. They don't want to foul. Vaughn with a basketball.
Washington needs to run the offense, though. I wouldn't like to see him go into a stall against the UCLA quickness.
Walker to Romar. We have exactly 2 minutes to play. Romar with it, goes in, comes back out. 65-62. Walker about 10 feet out on the right side, says no. Pass to Vaughn. Vaughn is fouled by Holland. Vaughn will go to the free throw line.
We're going to have a timeout. They're going to try to ice Vaughn here a little bit. UCLA wants the time, and that will leave UCLA with one timeout. Terry, is that the third, or this is the fourth timeout UCLA's taken? That's right. So the Bruins down to one timeout now in the ball game, as Vaughn will go to the line. And Vaughn on the year is a 71%er. And what does he hit now? 17 in a row? Let's see. 18 in a row. 17 in a row. That's right. So you've got a pretty good man.
Let's see what Marv Harshman has to say to his Huskies.
You're out high. High ball. Deep, man. Here's where I get back. Listen, don't hold the ball. Don't hold the ball too long at all. Move it quick, baby. Move it fast. But don't bounce it and throw it in one motion because they're going to play interception. Don't get so close out there.
You don't think they're excited, do you, Steven?
Oh, my. As excited as he'd been all year. Now, one thing Marv was telling the players was they don't want to they don't want the guards to clash. In other words, they want to spread the floor, and if you see perhaps maybe Vaughn coming over next to Romar, he's going to bring his man and create a double team. So they want to spread the floor and keep away from each other. Peter will be out at the high post.
So at the free throw line will be Donnie Vaughn with perhaps the biggest free throw of the ball game for him. He does not get the second unless he makes the first. 31 rebounds for UCLA, 30 for Washington. Vaughn's free throw, good! 4-point lead, 66-62, 1:52 to go. 67-62, 5-point advantage. And everybody on their feet here at Heck Edmondson Pavilion. They can smell an upset, but it's not over by a long shot yet.
They're going to make UCLA try to shoot over from over the top now to get back in this.
Hamilton to Greenwood. Oh, in midair, the slam dunk. 67-64. Walker quickly gets it in to Vaughn. Vaughn trying to move between two guys. Bad pass. Bad pass to Hamilton to lay it up. There's a turnover. That's what'll kill you every time. And now Walker quickly gets it into Vaughn. One more time, a 1-point lead, 1:22 to go. Vaughn gets it up to Romar. The Bruins dogging all over the place, almost stumbled back and forth. Right down the middle, near side Walker. We approach a minute 10. Walker with it. Costly turnover that time by Donnie Vaughn as he tried to get it between two Bruin defenders.
Now they go to a trap.
Here it is to Goodmanson. We are under a minute, 59 seconds to Goodmanson. Goodmanson right back to Vaughn, 55 seconds.
The man who won a foul is probably Woods.
With
Woods
the ball
at 49%.
Donnie Vaughn, 48 seconds to go. Walker to Goodmanson, to Woods, to Goodmanson. They go into almost a four-corner offense. Goodmanson has it with 39 seconds to Woods. Woods is fouled by Greenwood. That's 5.
Yes, it is. And now
Marv Harshman is up off the bench, and David Greenwood has fouled out of the ball game with 36 seconds remaining. Tremendous performer for the Bruins is gone.
I think Cunningham, first of all, went over to check to see how many fouls Greenwood had. Plus, also, he's got to worry about the timeouts. Does he want to ice Woods here or not? Because if he does,